The best and worst virtual wholesaling markets for 2025. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I will be ranking my favorite virtual wholesaling markets and the absolute worst virtual wholesaling markets you need to avoid virtually wholesaling in 2025. So you got to know exactly where you should be virtually wholesaling and where you should completely avoid. This is going to be a good test on if this area, the city, the state is going to be a place where you should avoid or you should go all in that market. Right here we have our rankings. From the bottom, we have avoid, get away, don't even go near that state or that city. And then on the top, we have top tier, right? The S tier, we have what I'm calling Rick tier, right? The top tier virtual wholesaling market for 2025. So let's kind of break it down. A plus, pretty good. Meh, could get better. And we're going to break this all down and share with you my favorite virtual wholesaling markets. Now, I do virtual wholesaling around the entire country. I've done thousands of virtual wholesale deals, and I've had a lot of experience in 2024 and right now up in 2025 of areas where I'm doing a ton of great deals and where deals are getting a little tougher to do. So let me break down exactly where deals are done and where they're not. So we're talking about the first one here. We got Kendrick Lamar with the LA hat, right? Well, LA, we just need to avoid this. Like, do not do Los Angeles. I'm telling you, yes, the population is massive. The prices are absolutely massive, and there's just not a lot of good virtual wholesaling deals. The honest truth is, you would see a bunch of wholesalers if this was an amazing area for wholesaling, showing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 checks every single month. And unfortunately, you're not seeing that. Now, the next market we got is actually Dallas, Texas. And I absolutely love Dallas, Texas. I think Dallas, Texas has exactly what Los Angeles doesn't have when it comes to virtual wholesaling. It has the large, insane scale of people, but the median home price is lower. And my favorite part, there is a high amount of investors. It's a very cash buyer friendly state. It's very friendly for landlords, for house flipping. And generally you can flip a house a lot easier, less regulations. And I'm going to put it on a pretty good market. I'm not going to put it at A plus because it does get kind of competitive, right? LA is super competitive and not a lot of deals. Dallas has a ton of deals and it's super competitive, which overall, if you're really good at scaling, absolutely crush it there, right? So I want to put it pretty good. If you know how to scale your stuff out, you can put this on Rick tier. But for the average beginner out here, it's going to be a little more difficult. So I'm going to put it pretty good. I'll give it a B plus, maybe an A. But I absolutely love Dallas for virtual wholesaling real estate. And that includes Fort Worth, DFW, Garland, Rock Hill, that area too. Next here, we got J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Fun fact, I want to own that property because I just love J. Cole. I think he's a great rapper. And he has that on his album, and the address is in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where he grew up. And I think it'd be kind of gangster just to own that as a rental property, but probably get attacked all the time. People go there all the time, so maybe not the best. But Cole World, a lot of people say Cole World, right? It's actually Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where he's from. That's where he reps. And Fayetteville, North Carolina is actually an amazing virtual wholesaling market. Ton of people living in there, a ton of cheap real estate, and a ton of great investor activity. Love Fayetteville. It's going to A plus right there. And I had this theory starting out in virtual wholesaling that I gave out when I first started on YouTube, and I've been saying this for probably 6 years now. But I found a lot of good virtual wholesaling markets in areas that had big military bases. Because there wasn't a sports team there, but there was a thriving economy, I guess that would be good for virtual wholesaling. And I hit an absolute gold mine, and I shared that gold mine to you guys publicly because I want you to have that same advantage. Fayetteville, North Carolina was number one on my list there. Columbus, Georgia had a big military base there. Clarksville, Tennessee, Jacksonville, North Carolina. But some other military bases like Colorado Springs, El Paso, Tampa, Florida weren't good at all. So you definitely have to see where you're at. My favorite military-based city for wholesaling right now is actually Norfolk, Virginia, but we'll get to that one a little later here. But military bases are a secret way to get really good virtual wholesaling deals that not a lot of people know about. Next here, of course, we got the New York City, we got the Yankees cap, we got the Timbs on the Statue of Liberty. You know the vibes, you know what's up. The Big Apple, New York City. The biggest city in the United States. Is this good for virtual wholesaling? No, you go right there next to KDOT. New York City is not a good virtual wholesaling market. The suburbs are not a good virtual wholesaling market. Nowhere near New York City is a good virtual wholesaling market. I hate to tell you this, Jersey included, avoid it. Being honest with you, not a good virtual wholesaling market. And if you can show me people like 15 plus that are doing really well, do it. I don't have any. I have a ton in Fayetteville. I have a ton in Dallas. I don't have a lot of success stories in New York City, so I'm going to be avoiding that area. Next here, Brevard County, Florida, which is going to be kind of east of Orlando. This is an A+ market. Absolutely love this market. This is currently where Cape Canaveral is, where there are a lot of space launches. It's kind of the beachy part where all the Orlando people go over. The population in Brevard County, as you can see here, is over 643,000 people, which you probably didn't know. That's massive. And with a median home price about $346,000, that is ripe for the taking. Now, markets like Palm Bay, Melbourne, Florida are my preference here. There's just so many properties and nobody knows about this county. It's got a massive population, great beaches, and a ton of investor activity. This is one of my favorite virtual wholesaling markets and actually one of my local markets. And I'm giving you the sauce of a great market for your success in wholesaling. Next here is Oklahoma City. We got the OKC Thunder logo, and this is going straight into Rick tier. Not even a question. I don't understand why people still think Oklahoma is illegal to wholesale real estate. If you go to freewholesaling.com and you see all the successful wholesalers there, you know how many people are succeeding there. There's a law where you publicly can't list your contract for sale, but you can privately market and cold call your buyers, and there's been no problems here. There's currently no law on the books affecting the assignment of contract in any of the states in the United States. And I haven't seen any enforcement of any of these laws at all because they're not real. And this has been a law for 5 or 6 years in Oklahoma, and I haven't seen one enforcement. And my interpretation has always been that it's about the contract and you just can't throw it on the MLS or Zillow. But you can call your buyers all day. And I've done a ton of deals in Oklahoma City. You guys have. But a lot of other real estate wholesaling influencers tell you run away, it's illegal, when not one person has ever gotten in trouble. And I've done a ton of deals on a license there, and you're pretty much good to go. And every title company is okay with you doing assignments there. So everyone runs. It's a great market. Go after it. Oklahoma City, if you live on the West Coast, this is another bonus because time zones are a little better than the East Coast. So go all in on Oklahoma City. Tulsa's okay. It's but Oklahoma City, that is amazing. Over 600,000 people in that area. Go for it. Next year, we have Miami, Florida. I'm going to consider it South Florida. We can throw Tampa in here too. But really anything from Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, down to Miami, that goes straight into the meh kind of category. I'm not going to say avoid it because I do fat deals there. I'll still hit 60, 70, $80,000 deals, but they're very far and few between. Plantation's a decent market, Deerfield Beach, maybe Hialeah a little bit, but it's not avoid, but it's not good. It's not even decent. It's just bleh. Of course, millions of people there, decent median home prices, but honestly, it's just houses are too high and there's just not a lot of people doing really well there, so I would avoid it. I know a lot of people say, well, I speak Spanish, so this is perfect. They speak Spanish and they want too much for their house, so it doesn't matter. So I would say avoid it, like just avoid Miami, just please. As somebody that lives like an hour away from Miami and have tried so hard on it, it don't work. Next, we got Walter White. He represents the state of New Mexico. The reason why I wanted to add New Mexico on here is because New Mexico, specifically Albuquerque, has over 500,000 people, a really good median home price, and kind of all the mappings of like a mini Phoenix, Arizona, right? It's right next to Arizona, and it's got a really nice population, and it seems like it could be like Phoenix 2.0. And I am a big fan of Breaking Bad, so obviously I'm like, well, let's try Albuquerque, right? I even tried Santa Fe, and it was a dud. And not just for me, but pretty much all the other virtual wholesalers that I know. It is not a good wholesaling real estate market. I cannot put my finger on why, so I'm just giving you my stupid analysis. You're not going to find many people making over 100 grand a month in that area. You're not going to find many people making 30 grand a month in that area. I have not cracked the code. You guys, right, the followers, we have not cracked the code either. I don't really know many wholesalers doing well in New Mexico. So we're going to put New Mexico on the avoid category. I want to make it work. I just can't. So if I don't see any data from me or anyone else doing well there from the hundreds of thousands of people in our community, I'm going to say no. So avoid New Mexico. Next here, we have Eastern Pennsylvania, specifically Berks County, Reading, Poconos region. That goes straight into A+. Absolutely love Reading, Pennsylvania. It's kind of like Brevard County. It's outside like a big metro. So Orlando's like a decent sized metro. Outside of those Brevard County, we got Philadelphia right there, which technically Jersey's there too, maybe New York, but like outside there's Berks County, which has Reading, Pennsylvania, Pottsville. Absolutely love Reading, Pennsylvania. I do a stupid amount of deals there. Love that area. I probably shouldn't be giving it out. Guys, avoid that market. But honestly, I make a lot of money there. So it is a great market. A+, go after it. Next, we got Ohio State, which pays their players more than anyone else. It's like an NFL team. They got no salary cap though. So congratulations. But Ohio State, outside of their football team, right? I'm not the biggest Ohio State fan, obviously, but I will tell you the state of Ohio is amazing for wholesaling real estate outside of one specific market. Where in the state of Ohio has the worst sports in the world? Cleveland, Ohio. Now, you could say, oh, wow, no, my Browns are great. Oh, shut up, okay? We get it. You got LeBron, your poster child. But I'm being honest with you. Everywhere in Ohio is amazing for wholesaling that has a city or a metro market outside of Cleveland. Now, Cleveland, I would probably put it on the meh category, but I'm talking about Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati. Those are like A+ markets. So I'm going to put Ohio in like a pretty good category, right? Canton's okay. Akron, I'm not a big Akron fan. I don't think Cleveland's that good. I've done deals in Cleveland. It's just not really good at scale for virtual wholesaling. Local wholesalers can actually do pretty good in Cleveland. I know a lot that are actually really good, but they live in Cleveland. But for virtual in Columbus, Dayton, Ohio, chef's kiss, add Toledo in there. That is a bunch of good money right there. So pretty good. The cities that I mentioned, Toledo, Dayton, Columbus, A+. Cleveland's like a mess. So we're going to put this on pretty good. State of Ohio in general. Absolutely love Ohio. Love the Midwest. I don't think we have Indiana on here, but I put Indiana as pretty good too. If you do Indianapolis, Fort Wayne. We didn't add Indiana there, but Indiana and Ohio, they're both kind of boring Midwest states, but they're great for wholesale. Next year, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers logo. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, classic 8-8 team, never too good, never too bad. And yes, I know the Dolphins suck, so you can give me all the jokes you want. But honestly, I'll give you, Steelers are actually always a good football team, decently, right? They always do really good in the beginning. They always end up not doing well. But what I gotta tell you about Pittsburgh in general as a city is it's actually a avoid category. I know this is a shocker. I know, like, wait, what is that? What are you talking about? This is a Midwest city. It's got a good population. It's got a low median home price. This thing should be banging. Everything on paper, right? We write everything on paper, right? Everything we write on paper shows us this, the calculations, Zach, show this is the best virtual wholesale market ever. But paper is different than when you're actually doing the virtual wholesaling yourself. And I have tried, and I cannot stress this so hard to make Pittsburgh work. It just does not. Guys, I've tried. I cannot get deals. So I can get deals locked up in Pittsburgh, but I struggle. And this is a guy that can sell deals pretty much anywhere. I have X-Leads. I got all the. It's really hard to sell deals in Pittsburgh. And when you are virtually wholesaling, that is the bane of your existence. So Pittsburgh, I've tried it so hard. I've tried the cities around it. I've had a lot of local wholesalers that failed, and I brought them into like Detroit, and they're absolutely crushing it. Avoid Pittsburgh. I know that sounds crazy, but this is just my raw experience, and this is my video, so this is my ranking. If you're making, millions of dollars in Pittsburgh, comment below. Let me interview you. Let me put you in a lab. Let me study you, and let me go get rich in Pittsburgh. But very, very hard for me to really have success in Pittsburgh. Maybe it's my style of virtual wholesaling, but it's pretty standard because I make it work anywhere, right? Next, we're the Houston Astros, world's best cheaters. Sorry for my Houston guys. But I absolutely love the Texans. I think they're a cool team. But Houston, Texas, right? I'm actually going to put it pretty good. I absolutely love Houston. Houston's got the same thing going for it that I absolutely love about Dallas, where the population is insane. I think Houston, the city of Houston or Harris County, I think it's top 5 counties or cities in the United States, like massive population. It's got a decent median home price, right? 263,000, 4.8 million people in Harris County, which is about to actually get above Cook County for Chicago, and $263,000. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. So Houston, Texas is cooking. I absolutely love Beaumont, Texas, right? The only issue is like hurricanes in the area, but I mean, I'm a Florida guy, so I'm used to this. But Houston, Texas, absolutely top tier. Now, when you have a city or a county with almost 5 million people and it's got that low of a median home price, there is going to be competition every single place you go. But the cool part is there's so many properties that are being wholesaled there that it kind of makes it up. The one thing I'll let you know about Houston is it has something that Dallas doesn't. Houston has humidity, just like anywhere else. When you have humidity, a lot of wetness right there on the water, Galveston area, and the hurricanes that hit it, there's always going to be property issue and property damage, which sounds bad if you want to own the piece of real estate. But as a wholesaler that loves to get ugly properties under contract, we got to get things that make houses ugly. And this is why Florida always works, because houses can always get ugly. And in Houston, with that humidity, houses can get ugly pretty dang quick. And of course, that means there's always going to be problems and always issues with properties, people not taking care of it. For example, like we got Phoenix, Arizona here. If somebody leaves a house in Phoenix, Arizona, abandoned for 5 years, right? It's not going to look that good, but it's not going to look like apocalyptic. In Houston, Texas, or Miami, if you leave a house alone for 5 years, the moisture gets disgusting. The thing looks apocalyptic. Grass is going to grow everywhere. So Houston is an amazing market. I'm going to put it pretty good. It is highly competitive, but there's just so many deals. I've argued to say this, there's not one place in the United States, there's not one virtual wholesaling market that has more wholesaling deals per month than Houston, Texas. Next here, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't say his name right, but he is an absolute baller of a basketball player. Love Giannis. He plays for the Milwaukee Bucks, and this is who we're talking about. We're talking about Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You go straight into Rick Tier. I absolutely love Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I make a ton of money in that market, and it is a very, very divided city. It's very weird how it's built, but it is a amazing market. And I'm not telling you to go all in, but if you live in that city, go crazy, right? Because it's got everything about the Midwest that is awesome. It does have really, really cold winters, but I truly believe it is super underutilized from virtual wholesalers. Now, everybody in Milwaukee does not want me to talk about it, but it is a really big up and coming city, and a lot of investors love it. They have the Milwaukee Bucks, which is helping kind of the clout of the city. And just, it's a pretty cool place. And there's some crime areas in there, right? And some areas are getting better, but people are moving there. The population is growing, and there's a ton of investors and a ton of properties and really cheap housing. So absolutely love Milwaukee. I just think not many wholesalers are attacking that area. So it's going to be on Rick Tier because it's so underutilized. Next year, we got Dunkin' Donuts with a Boston accent, which I am really bad at saying. So excuse me there, but we're going to just avoid Boston in general. I'm sorry. Like, unless you're doing like Springfield, Massachusetts, not a good market. Why are we even talking about it? Boston, no. Avoid Boston at all costs for virtual wholesaling. I've tried. Next year, we got the 313, got Eminem, Slim Shady, A+ market. He's from Detroit. I absolutely love Detroit. Detroit, Michigan, one of the best virtual wholesaling markets out there. The cat has kind of been out of the bag of how good Detroit has been. It's just got a massive population. The average house in Detroit is, let's check, population of 633,000, which, look at the population. It's not looking good, with a median home price of around 73,000. I will say something outside of what's common knowledge in virtual wholesaling for Detroit. You don't want to wholesale in the city of Detroit. Many of my buyers don't want to wholesale in that city. They want to do the county, right? They want to get outside the city, right? They want to do Livonia. They want to do Southgate, Ypsilanti, Inkster, right? Those areas. So if you're as long as you're outside of like the city of Detroit and you're in lower crime areas under 200 grand, great for virtual wholesaling. Phoenix, Arizona, I'll be honest, there's a ton of wholesaling real estate deals being done there, but the competition is really fierce. I'm going to put it on the meh category here because like there's just better options. I'm just being honest with you. Like unless you physically live there and you want to try to make it your thing, competition is just so crazy there, I'd avoid it. Next year, we have beautiful Hawaii. I'll be honest with you, avoid Hawaii for virtual wholesaling. If you live in Hawaii, I actually know a lot of people in Hawaii doing well, but they all live in Hawaii. So I would avoid Hawaii at all costs here for virtual wholesaling. I mean, one of the islands got entirely on fire, which is just terrible news. And it's just not good right now for virtual wholesaling. So avoid Hawaii. Next year, we got the Migos. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Absolutely love the Migos. Blasting that in high school. And the Migos are from Atlanta. So we love the Migos, and Atlanta is an amazing market. They're going to go under pretty good, not A+ because the city of Atlanta itself is okay, Fulton County. It's really like Marietta, Georgia, Duluth, Norcross, like the cities outside of it and the counties outside like Gwinnett County that are really, really like A+. So we're probably landing at pretty good, right? The city's okay, but the ones outside of them are actually really, really good and up and coming. So that's where we're at with Atlanta. Fun fact, Macon, Georgia, I'm going to put it meh, makes sense, but not the best for virtual wholesaling in my experience. So avoid Macon. Athens is decent. Okay. Now right here, we got Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia goes into wreck tier category because it's slightly way more competitive. I've been talking about Richmond for 5-6 years now. Absolutely amazing. Still underutilized. Still not enough virtual wholesalers in there. So I think it's a great area. Absolutely love Richmond, Virginia. Very historic. And absolutely love Richmond, Virginia. I've made a ton of money and you guys make a lot of money. Fun fact, I also absolutely love Norfolk, Virginia, Hampton Roads area, military town there. Then out west in Lynchburg, Virginia, absolutely love that city for virtual wholesaling too. That's where I'm at. Next year, we got Justin Jefferson, one of the shiftiest wide receivers ever. Absolutely love him as a player, but he plays for the Vikings for Minnesota. And we are going to avoid Minnesota because I'll be honest with you, Minnesota is not a good wholesaling real estate market. You do not hear killers out here from Minnesota virtually wholesaling or wholesaling houses. It's just Minneapolis is, I try to make it work. It doesn't work well, right? It's like, it should work. It's Midwest. The people are nice and, it should be like Milwaukee, right? But it's not, and I have not had it work. St. Paul's the same way, so avoid Minnesota. Next year, we got Ye here. Just like his career, just avoid it. Ye is from Chicago, and do not do Chicago. It's not like it's illegal to wholesale in the state of Illinois, right? A lot of people have been kind of crying about this Illinois law that passed like 5-6 years ago. Not one title company or real estate board has ever enforced the law because the law is so vaguely written. So I don't think it's even illegal to wholesale there. I actually know a lot of people in Chicago wholesaling in Illinois without a license, and title companies don't care anymore because the board has not even given any definitions of the law. But just Chicago's just not a good area for virtual wholesaling, so just avoid it. Last but not least here is Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Putting Myrtle Beach on the A category, not Rick tier yet, but put on the A+ category. Kind of like Greenville, South Carolina. Absolutely love it. Everyone thinks it is illegal to wholesale in South Carolina, which it is not. The month that it was, quote, illegal to wholesale in South Carolina, everyone said I did 5 deals just to prove to you that they not like us. But the thing about it is they made a law technically banning assignments in South Carolina. This is completely true. But at the last second, they made an amendment saying that no, make sure that assignments are completely legal. Then the board in South Carolina came out with an actual disclosure saying if you disclose, then you can do assignments and you can wholesale and you can market no problem. So business as usual in South Carolina, just make sure you use a really good closing attorney in South Carolina that actually knows the law and you'll be good to go. I'm doing deals everywhere in South Carolina, everywhere here. So pretty much I'm actively doing a ton of deals in South Florida, Atlanta, Houston, Ohio, Texas, North Carolina, Florida, Pennsylvania, Detroit, all of South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma City. There are some other ones that I am currently doing really well in, but we will reveal that probably next year because I want to get some more data. I got some really cool ones coming out. But if you want to get my complete top 25 virtual wholesaling markets, you got to be in the free wholesale community and the free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. Guys, I know there's going to be a lot of fighting in the comments of, wait, this market's good, this one sucks. And guys, I really want to know your opinions, guys. I personally read and comment to every single comment that you leave here. So I'll personally see it and answer any of your questions you have for virtual wholesaling. Guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.